Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the weekly update. It is July the 19th, and I know I look different. Get used to it. I just decided to shave. Don't make a big deal about it. But yeah, guys, it's been an interesting week. It's been full of a bunch of weird news, a bunch of interesting news, some unfortunate news, just lots of news. So, we're going to go over that news today on the weekly update as normal. So if you have some more memes, I've gotten a whole bunch of submissions this week. If you have any more memes to submit, please make sure to send them to me in a DM on X. It's the easiest way to get them to me. So if you want to see your meme up at the end of the show, start submitting them now. Like I said, I've already got a whole bunch of submissions. So thank you to Shell, thank you to Karen, thank you to Gardner, and all the other people that have already submitted memes. Makes it a lot more fun. How's it going, Shell? Good to see you as always. Yeah, guys, we're going to start off with an inspirational quote from our very own alternate Adrian. It is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. And some other members of the kingdom, including Linda in there, have comments. But it's a very good point, guys. Everybody just shies away from failure. They're all afraid of failure. You got to remember, if you're going to be really successful at something, expect to fail first. Fail fast, fail often, and then you'll probably find success as long as you stick with it. So keep going, do what you're doing, find the thing you want to do, and just go do it. So thank you, Alternate, for posting this. It's a very good point. But we're going to get started in the DOGE section. Very own conservative alternative member of the DOGE community and moderator there posts that this is the first administration in 40 years that has actually tried to cut things from the budget. Before this, we would just add and add and add to it. Things haven't been perfect, but overall, I'm grateful for the first 6 months. We are making progress. I completely agree, CA. I do. There are a lot of things that I have questions about. There are definitely some negative things, but overall, we are trending in the right direction, at least more so than we have with many presidencies in the past. Pretty much in my lifetime, because I, being born in 83, grew up with a lot of presidents that have done a lot of damage to our country and our culture. So it's nice to see somebody at least trying to make a positive change. Conservative alternative again. Post here that when Russ Vought took over DOGE after Elon's departure, lots of people had questions. And rightfully so. Yeah, rightly so indeed. But after this last week, I think it's safe to say that DOGE is in good hands. I really hope so. I've seen DOGE do some great work. We have some cuts that just got passed, and we'll go over that here in a little bit. But Russ Vought made some things happen, and he's just getting warmed up, folks. I really do hope so. $9 billion out of over $500 billion in savings is not a whole lot. It is a nice positive change and going in the right direction, but 9 is not anywhere close to 500. So good to see you, Dr. Q. You just got done playing piano. I always enjoy listening to people in the kingdom. We have opera singers in the kingdom. We have pianists in the kingdom. It's always a good time in the kingdom, folks. So thank you to Chatban and everyone else in the Troll Kingdom, because y'all are wonderful. Yeah, guys, looking forward to a lot more work with DOGE. Data Republican here. Ever wonder why European cities accept so many refugees? Well, it turns out has a lot to do with us, which sounds weird, right? Why is Europe accepting migrants because of us? Well, the refugee influx to Europe began as the U.S. taxpayer-funded subsidy. The U.S. government literally paid European cities to take them in using Soros-backed operations like the American Refugee Committee. There we have Soros again. Guys, Soros and his ilk and all the NGOs and companies that are tied to him have done significant damage to the culture in the West. Yes, ARC co-founded with money from the Soros Humanitarian Fund, which sounds wonderful, guys. It sounds wonderful. Humanitarian Fund, as we went over last night, though, with Gardner's Space, along with the conservative alternative. If it's named like aid, assistance, support, success, like if the government names any program, anything, it's probably the opposite. So this humanitarian fund is not humanitarian. it does go deeper and darker, so stay tuned. I look forward to these updates. Data Republican always doing great work, guys. Her tools are available for anybody if they want to Doge their state, their country, their local community. And we have an example of that. We have California Doge also has a post in here this week. But yeah, guys, Jenica, Data Republican, doing great work. Definitely use her tools. We see a lot of work from people like the questionable gardener and others when it comes to that tooling. So definitely use it. Yeah, Q says this kingdom is beautiful and it's multi-talented selves. That's correct. Christina, we have talentless appreciators in the kingdom. I think she's talking about me. No. Oh, then she says me. Okay, Christina is literally talking about herself. Christina, you're not talentless. And you invite us to Waffle House. Girl, can't wait to hang out with you. Yep. In the Bible space, they do have a Bible space on Sundays. So if you are interested in learning about the Bible, definitely check that out, guys. Christina, Shell, Dr. Q, and them. But Gardner here says more taxpayer savings. Good. Department of Governmental Efficiency in collaboration with CMS Gov. We don't need that graphic to be playing, but team to help eliminate $14 billion in duplicative, interesting word, Medicaid and ACA enrollments. After identifying the correct database and validating data sets, the CMS and DOGE team were able to uncover 2.8 million Americans improperly enrolled in multiple programs. Yeah, there's no fraud, right? There's no waste or abuse. CMS will be working with states to delete duplicative enrollments and ensure that no individuals lose their one lawful health insurance policy. As a result of this effort, beneficiaries will now receive the appropriate level of care without placing undue burden on the American taxpayer. I love to see this, guys. This is wonderful. Canceling and getting rid of duplication. Deduplication is huge in the computer space. It is huge in all kinds of places, but apparently they've never been interested in deduplicating government until now. Love to see it. Christina says, yes, the Awful Waffle and Bible Space Sunday, 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to see a Bible Space, it will be 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So definitely check that out. I should really put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I'm doing these because I just get messages. Let's see. Let's put that on Do Not Disturb right now. Boom. Nailed it. Everybody that is important that I need to know about or talk to is here in my home right now. So if you're trying to reach out, you'll just have to wait till after the show. It's just the way it is. Gardner, the work by DOGE is shaking up the bureaucracy with a plethora. Good use of the word, Gardner. Good use. Always like to see interesting vocabulary. A plethora of efficiency changes. Gotta love it. A 4-part thread, modernizing IT, streamlined operations, workforce optimization, and travel and contracts. So guys, definitely check out Gardner. He's got a whole bunch of things in here, but modernizing IT, estimated savings, 28.7 billion, words deleted, 281,000 words deleted from federal regulations. That's crazy. A litany of a lexicon, if you will. Yes, Dr. Q. Interesting vocabulary indeed. Streamline Operation DOGE Agency Efficiency Leaderboard ranks departments like Education, GSA, and EPA for cutting red tape. Love to see that. Love to see that. Nothing at the top of the bucket and a mop in the illustration book about birds. Chad Band, what a troll. We love you. 5 inches tall, 6 inches if he's lying down. Conservative alternative. Trump reinforces his commitment to uphold the promise he made to Vivek. No CBDCs in America. That is central bank digital currencies for those that don't know what a CBDC is. That's good. Also remain fully committed to my pledge to never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency in America. It won't happen.
And this I do for Vivek because he's very big into it. I happen to agree with him, but he said, could you mention this? I will never. He said, I love Vivek. I love him too now. I didn't love him when he was running, but I like him now. It's amazing the way you can like somebody when you win, right? But Vivek is great. He's really great. But he wanted this, and I'll give him full credit for it. It's very important, actually. I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency.
Heck yeah, guys. No CBDCs in the United States. Ever. I hope that's true. Hopefully they can make that permanent. That would be a wonderful change. As Dr. Q points out, decentralizing the banking system. Absolutely. Questionable Gardener has another one in here, guys. I have a lot of Gardner's posts, mostly because he's out there doing great work, posting almost every day. So if you're not following him already, you absolutely should be. So give a follow to the Questionable Gardener. In addition to the $310 million in contract fulfillments, the National Opinion Research Center received $133.6 million in grants. Question is, how is a non-government organization not a government organization if it's 100% funded by the government? You know what, guys? That's a very good question. If there is an NGO, but the NGO receives all of its funding from the government, is it actually an NGO? I don't know. What do you guys think? Go ahead and leave a comment. Give me your opinion, because to me, it kind of sounds like you're not really a non-government organization at that point if all of your funding comes from the government. And if we're fully funding you and you are a governmental organization, why don't we just regulate you and control you like a government organization? And then DOGE can just eliminate you. I like the sound of that. Yeah, federal grant search, guys. This is a tool that you can find on Data Republican's webpage. So I highly encourage you to go there. If somebody wants to throw a link to Data Republican's webpage in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. But you can go there and you can do your grant search and you can use keywords. Keyword searches, you can find all kinds of fun things. Just find a topic that you're interested in, throw that keyword in the keyword search, and see how much money the federal government has issued in grants on topics based on those keyword searches. And if you find something really interesting that you haven't seen before, because we've seen research into crickets and all kinds of other nonsense, if you find a really good one, post it in the DOGE community. Again, if you're not a member of the DOGE community yet, you absolutely should be. You might be the next viral post that Data Republican, Questionable Gardener, Conservative Alternative, Mr. Jeanette, or the others repost. In fact, Elon Musk himself is one of the moderators in that DOGE community. So if it's impressive enough, you never know. You might get a like or a repost. That would be pretty wild, wouldn't it? Dr. Q says, my name is Satoshi Nakamoto. This is the one thing I approve of, the Epstein files. NGO, yes. If the moment you're a contract, if the moment you're a contract government, the person paying you controls you, right? Yeah, that's very true, Christina. I mean, I'm taking my funding under DARPA with the XMath and inventing AI, and don't play games with NGO. Don't pretend you aren't when you are. Yes. And thank you very much, Karen, for throwing the link in there to Data Republican's website. So play around with it, guys. Make a post. Let the DOGE community see it. You never know. You can see our twin forces who developed this colorful tool that is also available on Data Republican's webpage. Work in progress, mea culpa. So the image on the left is the Uniparty showing 7 deadly organizations related to the National Endowment for Democracy, or NED. I had thought I had such. Guys, play quietly, please. Thank you. I had thought I had a rule such that if both input and output node for a grant were visible, the grant itself would draw, because why not, right? Nope, the bug he found was working with the new feature that would search upwards for paths to the USG, because defunding NPR and PP, I forget what that was. It was NPR and something, but they were both public things. I forget. It's fine. I'm sure somebody will put it in the comment, but doesn't really happen if laundering org just upstream gets the money instead. So the image on the right is the new image showing the NED Hydra is ever so much worse than we thought. Let's check out this image real quick, guys. What do you think? What do you think about this? You can see the way that the money flows back and forth between the National Endowment for Democracy, the National Democratic Institute for Change, all of these other institutes and organizations, how the money is just circular. It's amazing how much money can flow through federal grant programs and the government, isn't it? So thank you, Twin Forces, for developing that tool. I do like the visualization in it. And another member of the kingdom, Aladdin, also a normal contributor to DOGE. Yes, Gardner, so nuts indeed. There he is in the chat, folks. Questionable Gardner, go give him a follow. USAID Belarus findings. Have you noticed? As soon as USAID, geez, my tongue, got defunded, the riots in Belarus to overthrow the government stopped. Did this 104,000 for communication outreach have something to do with it? That's a really good question, because it is interesting that as USAID was getting defunded and eventually got closed, how much less strife we see overseas. Now, we are still funding Ukraine and Israel, so that's still a thing. But there's all these weird, just like civil wars and civil strife that is just kind of disappearing. It's almost like the U.S. Agency for International Development was actually just a front for the State Department and the CIA to help topple foreign governments and sow instability. Because now that it's gone, everything seems a lot more stable. Like I said, California DOGE, guys, is included this week. As Karen says, coincidentally, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. California DOGE, guys, if you're not following him, he has some tools as well. And I did shave. Yes, Gardner. Thank you for noticing. But yes, California DOGE has his own tools that he's developed to help DOGE states. We have multiple different state DOGEs now. So check out his tools if you want to learn how to DOGE your state, and maybe you can use one of them to DOGE yourself or your HOA or your community. Absolutely. But we have plenty to be happy about with the direction of the state and the governments in the U.S. However, it will take years to unwind the massive amount of mismanagement and corruption, keep up the pressure, and good work to everyone. Absolutely. It's always fun. Doing it earlier means the kids are awake, so I just try to keep them down a little bit. They're coloring and doing things right now, so hopefully they can stay quiet. If not, that's fine. I will just talk to them nicely. But keep up the pressure and good work, everyone. Yes, good work to California DOGE. Like I said, as with everybody else who's doing this excellent work, helping to uncover these things. If you're not already following him, definitely check him out. It's an iceberg, and we just started, says Karen. I completely agree. And it's going to be a very large iceberg. Eric Dougherty, breaking cover-up, maybe. It has just been revealed that Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's team, in response to Housing Director Bill Pulte and Trump officials' request for a tour of $2.5 billion in renovations at 7 p.m. on Friday when nobody was on scene. Majorly suspicious. Yet another example of Powell dodging. Makes one even more concerned. Where did the $2.5 billion go? They don't want you to be able to ask questions, Pulte, because it may deepen Jerome's ever-evolving legal troubles. These are slimy tactics. And as conservative alternative responds, there is literally no way to spend $2.6 billion on building renovations. No, I mean, unless you're invoicing improperly and money laundering, that's an insane amount of money. Government is just one big money laundering operation. Like I just said, unless you're laundering the money, guys, that is insane. You could rebuild the building far cheaper. You could even demolish the existing building, clear all of the rubble, site prep, and build a brand new building for less. So that's definitely money laundering. No. You have 40 more minutes. Yes. Please be quiet. You have 40 more minutes, buddy. He wants to know when he can take his eye patch off. Because he's like a pirate. Arr. Okay. Yep. And lastly, in the Doge section, we have Thomas Massey. I put this in Doge, didn't really know where to put it, but it has to do with government and other things as well. But foreign aid in the DOD appropriations bill, guys. Now that USAID and State Department and everyone else is getting their budget cut, why do we start seeing foreign aid in the DOD bill? $300 million to Syria and Iraqi military, $118 million in overseas disasters, $15 million for AIDS in Africa, $500 million in Israel, $350 million to Kuwait, $1.27 billion for foreign security, $500 million for Taiwan, $500 million for Jordan, and $267 to reimburse people. Why? Why, guys? Voted against it because it won't make America great again. It will bankrupt us. I kind of agree, guys, but if you look, it is basically along party lines. And it passed. Like, what are we doing? guys. And you can see here MTG and Tim Burchett also voted against this appropriations bill. Reimburse who? That's a very good question, Karen. I would have to read the actual legislation, and I have not done that. And I don't believe. Let's see if it's in one of these. Just because you asked. Let's see. Reimburse countries other than Pakistan. So I guess anybody? Under Section 1226 of the National Defense Authorization Act from fiscal year 2016. Good to see we're still messing with legislation from 2016, guys. These continuing resolutions and other things are just so good. Of which not less than 150 million shall be for Jordan. Okay, well, Jordan is a big chunk of that, apparently. I don't know, Karen. I hate it. But that wraps up DOGE, guys. So as we wrap up DOGE, we're going to roll into the general government section of the show. So in general government, and I just realized, you know what I didn't pull up? Let's see if we can find it. Oh, SpaceX has another win. Perfect. The Dragon is dead. What? Draco nuclear thermal rocket. Oh, no, not that. Okay, anyways, we are going to look for the White House, and we're going to look for the weekly MAGA Minute. Can we find one? Is there one for this week? There is. Okay, guys, we're going to start off. We're going to start off the government section with the MAGA Minute then. So let's get this pulled up and let's go.
I see many are trying to imitate our style, but there's only one MAGA Minute, so let's get to it. This week, the president attended the FIFA Club World Cup final, hosted NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte in the Oval Office, where he announced an agreement to a multi-billion-dollar sale of U.S. military equipment to NATO. The president hosted CEOs and business leaders at
And it was also good to see that we are actually selling weapons to Europe, not just giving them. Because if you want American-made weapons, you better pay for them. No more freebies.
The White House for a powerful faith luncheon. He traveled to Pennsylvania to deliver remarks at the Pennsylvania Energy and Innovation Summit and announced $90 billion in U.S. energy and artificial intelligence investments in the Commonwealth. The president hosted the Crown Prince of Bahrain in the Oval Office and welcomed families who have lost loved ones to the fentanyl scourge in our nation to the White House for the signing of the bipartisan Halt Fentanyl Act. Before wrapping up the week on Friday by signing the Genius Act, a massive win for the crypto industry. This week, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ reached record highs. The Department of Treasury posted a $27 billion surplus in the month of June for the first time in many years because of the president's tariff revenue. And core inflation beat expectations for yet another month. President Trump has established the most secure border in U.S. history with record low Border Patrol apprehensions and 0 parole releases in June. And in a win for the MAHA movement, the Trump administration announced that dozens of ice cream companies, representing more than 90% of the ice cream volume sold in the United States, have pledged to eliminate the use of certified artificial colors in their ice cream and frozen dairy products. Also here in Washington, Congress passed a $9 billion rescissions package, clawing back your tax dollars for partisan, taxpayer-funded media and foreign aid. And lastly, President Trump has directed the Attorney General Pam Bondi to move forward with requesting grand juries related to the Epstein files unseal their relevant documents. It was certainly a very busy week for President Trump here at the White House, and we'll see you for next week's MAGA Minute.
Now, guys, that whole Epstein thing was a huge minefield this week. Like, I think Trump grossly underestimated how people thought that Epstein stuff was important. Whether it is a giant, like false flag, whether it's fake, regardless, the lack of transparency and just being told to drop it, not cool, bro. So at least they're saying they're going to release Grant. But at this point, guys, with everything that's been floating around, who here actually believes that anything that's going to get released is all of it? Who here believes that it's even accurate? Like, the way that they went about this just brings up so many questions. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And the general public is never going to be satisfied. But it is what it is. Also, here later in the week, the Wall Street Journal decided to publish what the administration is declaring a fake birthday letter from 2003. Christina is melting, I guess, over the Epstein stuff, would be my guess. This is like the Steele dossier that kickstarted the Russia hoax all over again. They refused to show us the letter and conceded they don't even have it in their possession when they asked them to verify the alleged document that they were basing their entire fake story on. When has President Trump ever spoken like the conversation alleged in the fake story? Yeah, if you read the way that it was worded, it does not sound like him at all. They knowingly published false information, and now I've seen he is suing them for like $10 billion. That's my trying to smile look. Oh, fair enough. Yep. As Vance Wool says, fake letter, fake story, fake news. All the media does is lie. It's probably true. Jasmine Crockett, guys, she's not as dumb as she is characterized to be. She is actually fairly well educated and well spoken, but she plays a character and she's doing her part. But she's always bringing up race, always trying to splinter the community. So as Eric Doherty points out, we have only 4 seats that are represented by black folk. Well, you know what? That's interesting that you say that because every district elects their representative. It really doesn't matter if that representative is black or white or Hispanic or Asian, does it? Because they were elected by the people in that district. So purposely bringing up race is nothing but being divisive, and it's dumb. So please stop. Specifically deciding to splinter the communities of common interests as well as just blatantly say that we are going to dilute minority voices. No.
Only have 4 seats that are represented by black folk, where the vast majority of the people that get to decide who they have represent them are black. They decided to attack 3 of the 4 seats that we have in the state. They decided to go after a Latina. They are specifically deciding to splinter the communities of common interest, as well as just blatantly say, we are going to dilute minority voices. So we know that the courts, ever since we've had a Voting Rights Act, have always found this state to be intentionally discriminatory. That is what they are.
The state's so discriminatory, they've elected black representatives. Yes, they're obviously so discriminatory. It's just awful. Awful, awful people. Texas, they're just so racist, right? Everybody's racist. Everybody, right?
Are going to do. So I need people of color to understand that the scheme.
Do you notice that when she's talking to the people of color, she slows her talk? Like she's talking down to them? Like she doesn't think they're intelligent enough to keep up with the conversation. I think Jasmine Crockett herself is racist, like most of the Democrats, because they just want their slaves.
The theme of the Republicans has consistently been to make sure that they mute our voices so that they can go ahead and have an oversized say in this. So I fully anticipate that's exactly where they're going with this map.
No, they're not. And they're all elected, guys. It's just a race thing. They're idiots. Conservative Alternative has a hilarious take on this one, guys. She's just upset because her eyelashes got tariffed 104%. Jasmine Crockett's eyelashes are from China. She's so very upset. He literally put 104% tariff on her eyelashes. Thank you, President Trump. Terrence Williams, you are hilarious. She's a fraud. Yes. Like, if you weren't smart enough to elect the representatives they wanted and aren't to be trusted. Yeah. In fact, it has been studied that liberals, progressives actually talk down to minorities. They're the only group that does this. They talk to them like infants and children. It's insulting and it's racist and it's stupid. And just remember the iron law of projection. They will be doing the thing they're accusing you of. Yes, Sam is quite funny. Show. So, Don Bacon, this morning the House overwhelmingly voted to continue providing military support to Ukraine. My question is why? Why are we doing this? Like, we're $37 trillion in debt. This is insane. We need to stop giving money to foreign conflicts. It doesn't benefit us at all. So can we please stop? What do you guys think? Do you think we should keep giving money to Ukraine? Do you think we should keep giving money to Israel? Do you think we should keep getting money to anybody overseas while we're $37 trillion in debt? Because I don't. We should probably get out of debt first before we start handing out money. That would be like me at home being like $50,000 in credit card debt and then just still going out and donating money to people. Like why would I borrow money at high interest just to give to somebody else who didn't ask for it, doesn't deserve it, and isn't going to help me? Like that is absolutely crazy. Biden definitely did give money nonstop, Karen. You are correct. Rand Paul, the Fed spends trillions with zero accountability. Enough is enough. I am leading the fight with Senator Rick Scott to mandate a full audit of the Federal Reserve. I think this is a wonderful idea. Audit the Fed. I've supported this since they brought it up originally. We still need to do it. I want to know, when are we going to get the video tour of Fort Knox? Maybe we can include that as part of auditing the Fed. What do you guys think? I would love to see the gold that isn't there. At least where it's supposed to be. I think it would be a fun tour. It would just be a bunch of empty rooms. And if it's not, prove it. Prove it, government. Give us a video tour, like you said. I think it's a wonderful idea. We're working with the Department of Veterans Affairs. So this is actually a very interesting one, and I'm going to play this full video. So, yes, absolutely. Shell says, didn't Chapman have an issue with the VA this week? Yes, he did. Christina says, hold, hang-ups, canceled, rescheduled appointments with zero notification. Karen says, we need thousands of Christinas to act as advocates. Yes, we do, as Shell says. She is a rock star. Linda, OMG. Is that about the VA, or are you just in general? OMG. It's good to see you, Linda. Christina, love y'all. Yep, love you too. Good to see you. Yeah, guys, just in general, guys, the VA is a broken system, needs fixing. It's good to see that we have some folks in there that actually care, and they're going on these podcasts and trying to get the word out at least and reach some folks that may not call. So positive changes there. Right here, Tom Cotton, in light of recent and concerning reports about Microsoft using engineers in China to maintain DOD systems, I have asked the Secretary of Defense to look into this matter. We must guard against all threats within the military's supply chain. That is actually pretty concerning. And as Pete Hegseth says here, spot on, agree fully. Our team is already looking into this ASAP. Foreign engineers from any country, including, of course, China, absolutely, definitely including China, should never be allowed to maintain or access any DoD system or any bare metal hardware that's holding DoD systems, guys. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing with these, large cloud companies? I get it. They want to shift some of that overseas. Like, I'm sure Amazon does this. I'm sure that, Cloud HQ, I'm sure a lot of these big companies do it. I'm sure Microsoft's not alone here. But yeah, we can't have DoD and government systems on servers that have foreign engineers, foreign adversaries having access to them. Like, that's absolutely insane. What are we doing? Linda says, yes, he did. It's horrible that the government is doing to all veterans. Chapman is a prime example. I agree, Linda. It should be the responsibility of the congressman. Yeah, it should. Federal workers in D.C., according to Not the Bee, have already shrunk by 22,000 under Trump. So let's just go ahead and give a little quick clap about that. 22,000 fewer federal employees in D.C. Love to see it. Even if they haven't been actually removed from the workforce, at least they've gotten out of D.C. The FBI announced that they're going to be transferring a lot of their folks out into the rest of the country from the D.C. office. So those might be part of this. But I like to see this. Definitely a good move in the right direction. Christina says, I thought the new VA appointee was going to make sweeping changes and improvements. Guess it takes a lot of time. Well, everything with government takes a lot of time, unfortunately, Christina. Sometimes too long, especially when you have people that are committing suicide at the rate that we have veterans doing so. We really can't afford to be taking that long. General Michael Flynn, surreal here in America that DNI Gabbard is now stating emphatically that a former president of the United States, Barack Obama, attempted a coup against Donald Trump. This is why Tulsi Gabbard was attacked relentlessly over the past few weeks and months They knew that anyone with the guts to investigate the attempted coup, it would be her. Well done. More to come. Checkmate. We have a follow-up story about this and a video, which I don't think we're going to watch 8 minutes of it, but if you haven't seen it, you should absolutely go watch it. The storm has arrived post that everybody needs to watch this, soak it in, and understand the magnitude of what we are watching play out. Accountability is coming. DNI Tulsi Gabbard talks in detail about what she found in the newly declassified documents that prove Obama and many of his administration committed treason. Interesting. That T word has been thrown around a lot lately, but let's see if there's any accountability that comes from it. Because right now, that kind of seems to be the discussion. Is there going to be any accountability? And the general feeling right now that you get from reading comments on X is that I don't think anybody has a lot of confidence in the system and holding these people accountable. We really need to start seeing some arrests. We need to start seeing charges. We need to see accountability, and we're not seeing it. We didn't see it with Epstein. We haven't seen it with any of this stuff. I don't think that we're going to see it. Christina says, we don't have a minute to waste with our heroes. Yes, and it's every 22 minutes. Every 22 minutes, a veteran takes their life. That means that just during this show, 5 or 6. It's too many, guys. It's absolutely too many. She has made referrals to the Department of Justice. Referrals are great, but those aren't charges. I'm referring all of these documents, what we found and uncovered, referring them to the DOJ for further investigation, accountability, and action. It's not just an investigation, but action. I really hope so. I don't have a lot of confidence in that, though. God bless our heroes. Yes. Agreed, Karen. I'm referring to all the documents. Oh, wait, we already did that. Accountability has to take place. I agree. The American people's ability to have faith and trust and integrity of our democratic republic is literally what's at stake, and therefore the future of our ability to exist as the country that we know. This accountability is critical to make sure that this never happens again. Yeah, guys, if there's no accountability, it's just going to keep happening. It's the same thing with all the money laundering. It's the same thing with everything else. If there is no accountability for doing things that are wrong, they will keep doing things that are wrong. Like that. It sucks. That's just the way it is. Also, if you haven't already, please repost the live stream. Do so on X, do so on YouTube, do so on Rumble. If you are watching from any of those, please post out the space. Help save the village. Don't let Chapman's village burn because you guys were not willing to just hit that share button. So hit the share button to share the space out. Let more people see it. Let them enjoy it with us. We can all talk in the chat and have fun together. Nick Sotorer, if nobody goes to jail over the Russia hoax, nothing will change. The deep state will attempt to pull the same crap again and again. Arrests must be made. Yes, this is the general consensus. This is the feeling out there in the public. But there's not a lot of confidence right now. So we need that confidence restored. If we don't get that confidence restored soon, what are we going to do? Well, Pam Bondi needs to do her part. As Mike Engelman points out, we have talked with Mike as well. It's a great time. Great follow as well. Go ahead and follow Mike if you are not already. But as he's following up on Katter's post that Tulsi Gabbard showed everyone how it's done, now it's Pam Bondi's turn. People really don't have faith in Pam. They really don't. Linda says, yes, no more games and blaming the last administration. Need to do now. Just look at the history of our veterans from Vietnam. Yes. Guys, the history... We actually did a space on the Vietnam War, and it was actually really neat. The whole last half of it was basically a couple of veterans just sharing life stories, some from Vietnam, some from after. But you know what? Just letting them talk and share their story was actually a blessing to me, to Shell, to everybody else that heard it. And hopefully it was a blessing to the veterans that were able to speak. But yeah, guys, Vietnam vets, Korean War vets, none of the vets get treated well. But especially Vietnam, guys. The way that the hippies treated them when they came back was awful. And then the VA just left them there. Karen says it was a great space. I agree. Go check it out. I believe it was recorded, so you can find it. And if somebody wants to throw that in the chat as well, please feel free. The truth about the felonies. Guys, this is kind of a comedy sketch. It's a minute and a half long, but we're going to just watch this because I watched it and enjoyed it. And you can use this and you can share it with any of your friends. And you can let them know. Whenever they say, oh, he's a felon, send them this.
Trump is literally a convicted felon. He has 34 counts. Oh, can you explain to me what it is that he did? Well, he paid a corn star light or something. Got it. You don't know what he did. Well, here's what happened. Yes, Trump did pay Stormy Daniels hush money, which is not illegal.
No, it's not. Turns out paying hush money, not illegal. People do it all the time. They make them sign non-disclosure agreements, all kinds of stuff, guys.
His lawyer, Michael
What felony? Exactly.
Cohen, fronted the $130K. Trump reimbursed him in 2017 monthly. Sounds shady to me. He labeled the payments as legal expenses in his bookkeeping. That's it. That's the true crime.
Yep. Yeah, guys. That's it.
So that's 34 felonies? No, that's 34 entries in QuickBooks. Same
Yeah. Yeah. Just individual entries were all turned into individual crimes.
payment, different lines. Wait, so he got 34 felonies for labeling reimbursements wrong? Yep, and by the way, that's a misdemeanor. But New York tried to upgrade it to a felony by
Because they needed to.
claiming it was a secret campaign expense.
Because the misdemeanor statute of limitations had already expired. So the only way they could have charged him is to make it a felony, which was complete bullshit.
But that was in 2017. Exactly, past the statute of limitations. And not one person in New York has ever been convicted of this, ever. So why did he get convicted? Because they found 12 people who hate him enough to say he's guilty. But still, convicted felon. So if I Venmo you back for lunch and say it's for consulting instead of salad and fries, should I just go to Rikers?
That's actually a really good question. I like the way that they just laid that out because it's essentially the same thing. Questionable Gardner says YouTube and TikTok. He paid a corn star. Yeah, I know. The way that they censor the P word is stupid. But hey, the algorithm is what it is, right? You can put a video of Linda McMahon on WWE and get your whole stream demonetized. Right, Gardner? Say he's a hero in Atlanta. Locking him up here gave him the vote. Yeah, guys, the amount of street cred that you gave to Trump by making him a felon, they did not predict the outcome that they got at all. They're like, he's going to be a felon. Nobody's going to vote for him. Guys, he was already popular among rappers in the minority community. You saw the police go after him. You saw the state go after him for BS. They're like, bro, he's a felon now, and they went after him for nonsense. Like, we get it. Like, we can relate to that. They just made him relatable, guys.
No, that's how dumb this is. They turned accounting labels to felonies just to get a mugshot.
And that mugshot is my favorite picture that they hung outside the Oval Office, guys. It was so good. Said his mugshots on t-shirts everywhere the next day still are. Oh, yeah. That mugshot was great. You would never. Gardner, you know that's not true. It's the whole reason I stopped streaming on YouTube for a few months. That's okay, though. U.S. Department of Energy, mine, baby, mine. Yeah. One of us. One of us. That's right, Christina. Oh, and here we go, guys. Here we go. The unhinged Elmo saga this week. Guys, this was not in my bingo cards at all. But here we are. Yeah. The memes. I threw this meme in here during the section because it just fits. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to wait like an hour to get to it. This is why, guys. This is why the House Committee on Education and Workforce. One thing we did not have on our bingo card was Elmo being an anti-Semite. Yes, we did not. Maybe his account was hacked, or there was an employee that was mad. I'm going with that, but you can see what he wrote. Elmo was just very upset. Just very upset, guys. Elmo was just unhinged, very anti-Semitic. Yep. Elmo was just being crazy. But look. The Babylon Bee posted a response. Israel levels Sesame Street with targeted airstrikes. Oh, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, I was going to wait and put these in the meme section, but it just fits so well with the story that I just had to include it. The Babylon Bee just right on target as always, guys. So good. So we got Michael Flynn, moving on, hesitated to write this. However, the utmost respect and deference to you For all that you withstood, the Epstein affair is not about who killed him or if he committed suicide. Personally, I'm glad that this known pedophile is dead. But neither is this a hoax. This issue goes well beyond that. There are millions of Americans who overwhelmingly voted for you. No one more wants you to be successful. No one more than me. Personally, I still have a target on my forehead. Yeah, guys, the big part of this, though, is that, regardless of what class of society abuses and commits crimes against children, it's never acceptable. Please take this missive. Yeah, the whole idea where they were just saying it's not that big a deal, like the people don't care. Michael Flynn here is posting, we absolutely do. And Roz Alerts here points out, and Gardner also talked about, that officials say the metadata from the Epstein prison video shows that 2 minutes and 53 seconds were removed from one of them and the two were stitched back together. The cut starts right at the missing minute. So it was made to look like it was 1 minute. It's from two different video sources. You can see because the dimensions of the video itself changes at that break where the missing minute is, but it's actually 2 minutes and 53 seconds. It was put through multiple video editing programs. Guys, why would they release a video like this that was so questionable? Other than to just make people ask more questions. It didn't answer any. Christina, that Elmo could tickle me. Christina. Caroline Levitt, based on posting for Trump's Truth, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Epstein, I have asked the Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony. Again, I don't think anybody believes that this is actually going to be all of it. It's not even the same door they showed in 2019. Yeah, that is also true, Karen. Good point. Different cell. Also the missing almost 3 minutes. Like, it's just complete BS. So let's not. Let's just not. But at least they're saying they're going to produce more. Do you believe them? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Attorney General Andrew Bailey. In March, I questioned the legal honesty of Biden's clemency, given his cognitive decline, and now, by his own admission, his pardons have no legal validity. And how did we end up there? We ended up there because now it's basically come out that the only one pardon is Hunter's that was signed with a live signature. Everything else was auto-penned, and it looks like it was one of his aides that authorized the use of the auto-pen, not even him. So as they continue to investigate the auto-pen, and I did ask, I believe it was last week, about whether we were going to get an update on the auto-pen scandal. Yeah, apparently we did. And Dr. Fauci's pardon was approved at 10:30 p.m. on January 19th, right before Trump took office, by Jeff Zients, who was a White House aide using the auto-pen. At the January 19th meeting, which took place in the Yellow Oval Office Room, the White House residence, Mr. Biden kept his aides until nearly 10 p.m. to talk through such decisions, according to people familiar with the matter. The email shows that the aide, Mr. Siskel, sent a draft summary to Mr. Biden's decisions at the meeting to an assistant, Mr. Zients, copying Mr. Siskel. At 10:03 p.m., the assistant forwarded it to Mr. Reed and Mr. Zients, asking for their approval, and then sent the final versions to Ms. Feldman. Copying many participants and the aides at 10:28 p.m. 3 minutes later, Mr. Zients hit reply all and wrote, I approve the use of AutoPen for the execution of all of the following pardons. It is not his place to approve the use of the AutoPen on pardons. In my opinion, this would invalidate all of them. What do you guys think? I hope they continue this investigation and we see some accountability, because this is wild. Guys, this is like way worse than Watergate. This is a huge scandal when you have people who are not the president authorizing the use of the AutoPen, doing pardons, which is a presidential power, not the aides. This is not a power for Mr. Zients. This is a power for Biden or the president alone. Karen says Biden doesn't stay up past 9. That's probably true. And Here is a post from Phil Labonte from All That Remains. They noticed that Trump has a little swelling in his legs and discoloration on his hand, but they didn't notice that Biden was a literal walking corpse. You can't hate them enough. Yeah, that's true. So we'll wrap our government section there. And as we wrap government, we're going to head into immigration. We're going to start overseas with our immigration section, guys. Tommy Robinson points out here that a migrant punched a man holding a baby at the London Underground station. The baby fell to the floor. The English team up and take him down. The country has had more than enough of this. The other crazy thing is you start to see women intervening, trying to help out the guy who punched the guy who, like, they're trying to help the migrant. So, like, they're just attacking the migrant who attacked the guy and made the baby drop, which, fine. Good job, Ben. It's what you should be doing. Make sure that guy doesn't get away. So they've got him. They've captured him. They're trying to make sure he doesn't escape because he's still fighting to get away. And it's the white lady. The white lady is trying to intervene and get in the middle of them to get them to stop. Like, liberal white women, what is wrong with you? Why are you so awful? Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, why are you you complain when men don't intervene? You say, why don't men care anymore? You blame men when they don't intervene. And then when they do, you try to intervene on the behalf of the now victim to you, who was the aggressor. Like, y'all are retarded. I tell you, as a mother and a nana, I would have ripped that parasite apart. Yes, Linda, I agree. You can also see here a North African migrant in Spain tried to rob the wrong Chinese tourist. This is also a funny one.
Yeah. Relax. Relax. Hostia. Please come up. Yeah. Okay. Wait. 打电话。Relax. Relájate.
Guy's not getting that choke in very deep. That guy should be asleep.
You shouldn't have stolen anything.
轻点勒他。
我知道，他只要不动，我就不勒他。
轻点勒他。
que intenta robar. No consigo un llamado. Relájate. Que ya bien, 28 años, 31.
And the police are just like, we'll take him. Karen says, I think they have the moral high ground regardless. Yeah. Also, guys, don't put up with this crap in your countries. Just don't do it. Tommy Robinson with another good post showing that people are just getting tired of it. We have President Nayib Bukele from El Salvador. From a Rolling Stone post, journalists, activists, and nonprofits have no better option than to flee El Salvador as Trump's new favorite dictator, Nayib Bukele, cracks down on dissent. Human rights defenders are fleeing El Salvador as Bukele cracks down. And Bukele's response? Ha 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 ha. You know, I once thought the news were real. Yep, based. Bukele is just like, yeah, I remember when I used to think the news was real. Now it's just all fake. So Rolling Stone can kick rocks. Totally support it. Karen says the time for kindness is over. Yep, I agree. You can see here Nayib Bukele again helping out. How fake chokehold. So, Linda, if you don't apply the chokehold correctly, no. Like, you can just irritate somebody with a chokehold. You don't have to put them to sleep. But yes, if you do apply it correctly and you choke them unconscious and you continue to apply that choke for that long, it would result in a fatality. The only thing keeping somebody from dying in a UFC match is the referee or the ump. I don't even remember what they call him. He's the deep state's worst nightmare. Yes. Okay, yes, agree. Yeah, so Nayib Bukele, great here. He did a lot of really good work, guys. He actually helped rescue some Americans. So let's watch this real quick. So some Americans So let's go watch the actual video.
By thanking my good friend, President Bukele. We've had a very long and successful relationship between our countries. And I think one thing that President Trump and President Bukele share is they're men of action.
Yep.
They've made major differences for their countries.
Yep.
And they're men of peace that bring people together and bring people home. And President Bukele, what you've done here with our President Trump, with our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio,
Yep.
is bring home 10 of our Americans.
Yeah, so he negotiated with Venezuela to free 80 of their own political prisoners. But then, as the good friend that they are, Nayib Bukele also included 10 Americans who were prisoners in Venezuela as part of the deal. So Bukele here arranged for the release of 10 Americans who were being held in Venezuela. That's a good friend. So thank you very much, President Bukele. You're doing great work, and you're helping save Americans from dictatorships and communists. Love to see it. You have Eric Doherty posting that Stephen Miller laid out absolutely stunning southern border numbers, and it's everything we asked for. Biden average day, 10,000 plus illegals allowed in. Trump over the last 2 months, 0. Stephen Miller and Tom Homan are absolute stars. Yeah, completely agree, guys. We are doing amazing things down on the border. As it was discussed in the MAGA Minute, guys, our border is the most secure it has been probably ever, at least since we started having immigration as a real problem. ICE has just been given full access to Medicaid data to find illegals who take advantage of social services. Deport them all. I agree, Gunther. Absolutely. And Linda says, her heroes. Yep, agreed. Senator, Homeland Security. Okay, so Alex Padilla says, be serious. A judge literally ordered the Trump admin to stop racially profiling in a ruling last week. These raids are happening in predominantly Latino communities. Weird. Even though the people that are here illegally are from over 100 different countries of origin crossing our southern border, they are predominantly Latino. So it would make sense if you're doing immigration raids, it would probably affect majority Latino communities, especially because people tend to congregate together with people that look and sound like themselves. That's just human nature. Senator, this reeks of race baiting. What makes someone a target of ICE is that they're illegally here in the U.S., not their skin color, race, or ethnicity. Secretary Noem unleashed ICE to target the worst of the worst. Yep, including gang members, murderers, and rapists. President Trump and Secretary Noem are putting the American people first by removing illegal aliens who pose a threat to our community. And really, guys, they should just be removing all of them. It's nice that you're going to focus on people who are felons or criminals or violent, but they should be just removing all of them. And then they should be throwing in prison any of the people who are employing them. Yes, 100%. If you are employing an illegal knowingly, you should be accountable. You should go to jail. There are systems to help you check the legal status of a worker. Use them. Or at your own peril, you may end up in jail. At least that's what I think. Kara says we need all of the illegals regardless of race. Yes, get them all. Every single one of them. I don't care where you came from. If you're not here legally, you need to go. Use that CBP Home app. Self-deport today before you lose any chance of coming back in the future. Taria Brooke here. Orange County resident Nick Torres torches illegals so badly the meeting is adjourned afterwards. Guys, I just go to play this video because it was so good. This guy is a hero. And to see this in Costa Mesa, California, and Orange County of all places is wild. So let's just go ahead and watch this. He's carrying an American flag, wearing a MAGA hat. It's a good start.
In the United States, I know most of you are probably from Mexico where you don't have the First Amendment, but that's something we have here where we have the right to freedom of speech. And I just wanted to say something too. It's true. You guys don't have a First Amendment. You don't have respect for civil liberties or rights.
I mean, really, no other country does. We saw France post this week that they You're free. You have freedom of speech, but you can't have freedom of misinformation. Yeah, that means you don't have freedom of speech there, dogs.
But that's okay. I'm speaking. Thank you. So anyways, the point I'd like to make here is a couple things. One, these people here are, passionately talking about ICE agents coming into their communities and you don't know their identities. Well, you know who we really don't know the identities of? Any of the illegal aliens who've been invading our country for the past 60 years. Yeah. How about when you see the farm worker? Is that going to be like the same farm worker that murdered Molly Tibbetts? Yeah, how do you know when the Honduran fruit seller is out there, how do you know he didn't rape one of the many women who came up here? According to the Univision study done in 2015, 80% of women who come to this country are trafficked and raped. Think about that. How do we know they're not one of those rapists? How do we know they're not one of those rapists?
Excuse me.
I mean, it's a valid question, guys. We don't know who these people are. And they're here illegally. So, as Karen pointed out, I don't care where you're from. If you're here illegally, you need to go.
So that's the first thing. Talk. That's the first thing. I think ICE should be allowed to act with impunity. I think they should go to every Home Depot. I think they should go to every school, every quinceañera, and build the wall and deport every single one of these guys because they don't make our country great. They make it worse. They bring it down. They use public services, and Americans are sick and tired of it. We're sick and tired of it in our country. So let me say this too. We want to, they say you want to know the identities of these ICE agents. We don't know any of the identities of these murderers coming into our country, these rapists. Let me also say this too. This same city council in Costa Mesa, if you vote to make these people take their masks off, this was the same city that was arresting people for refusing to wear masks during COVID. So now what is it? Now what is it?
Oh, first you're going to arrest people for not wearing a mask. Now you want to force them legally to remove their masks. Interesting contradiction, guys.
When we want to enforce the law and take our country back, you want to put the men in danger? Is that what you want to do? No.
Yeah, guys, and if you want, you can watch the rest of this, but just watching this guy torch the Costa Mesa City Council, guys, great work. Linda says, that's right. That's why other countries are in turmoil. Well said. Yes, Karen, Trump was right day one when he announced his candidacy a decade ago. Yeah. FBI arrested Benjamin Song, a former Marine Corps reservist who was accused of shooting ICE officers at a detention facility in Texas. Will the Democrats condemn this? We know the answer to that, guys. The answer is, of course, no. We know they won't. And by not condemning it, they're basically supporting it. So we have a person taking shots at ICE. That's not okay. But the big thing is they're like, we need these people. We need them to pick these things. Apples, tomatoes, whatever, right? Well, guess what, guys? They probably make a robot for it now. So as Charlie Kirk says, robots can now pick apples. It's time to automate America's farms. Automation, not amnesty. I completely agree, guys. You want to keep the slave labor of the immigrant, the criminal aliens? Is that what you want? Or can we finally get rid of slavery in the U.S. and can we actually just use mechanization and automation? Because we all know that if you want to pay a U.S. citizen to pick these things, you're probably going to have to pay more. And then it becomes more economical just to buy a robot. We see this with the $15 minimum wage in fast food. How many people have now been replaced by a kiosk because that $15 minimum wage made them too expensive? Because you don't make enough from an employee at a fast food restaurant to justify that high of a labor cost, because nobody wants to spend Five Guys money for a fast food hamburger. Nobody does. If I'm going to spend that kind of money for a hamburger, I'm going to go to an actual restaurant and I'm just going to order takeout, drive up to the thing and leave with it. It's going to be much higher quality and it's going to basically be the same price. So good job. Fight for 15. Keep it up. And our last story here for the immigration section is the National Association of Realtors reported that foreign investors bought $56 billion worth of American homes last year. Should we allow this to happen? Like, I'm not usually a huge fan of more regulation or more laws or more intervention, but does this make sense to anybody? Why are we allowing foreigners, foreign nationals, non-citizens, non-legal residents to buy American property because land and property is a thing that they can't make more of. So the more we let these foreigners buy it, the less there is for Americans. Why are we doing this? So anyways, guys, as we wrap our immigration section, we are going to start our culture section. So the start of culture is the humble beginnings of DEI. Now, this is from a movie called The Enforcer. But just listen to this. I didn't realize that it had started this far back. But check this out. I guess we'll have to reload the page because X is starting to give me the business.
Now, just how does he figure to do that, Mrs. Gray?
To broaden the areas of participation for women.
Well, I guess we better get on.
Oh, broaden the areas of participation for women, eh?
Have you any questions for the applicant?
The applicant. Very gender neutral term.
You know that
Yes, sir, that's what I'm hoping for.
riding in a police car?
Yes, sir, that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay, so she wants to ride in a police car. Perfect, perfect. Then what? So if anything's going to get the stream demonetized, it's probably this clip, guys. But that's fine because this is important. Listen to this.
I've never made a felony arrest.
Oh, I've never made a felony arrest, and yet you want to be...
Your arrest, then.
I've never made a misdemeanor arrest either.
Oh, never made a misdemeanor arrest either, huh?
Gives you the right to become an inspector.
That's a good question. Why would you get a promotion other than affirmative action or DEI?
You son of a bitch! Counter group, I want to know what Officer Moore is going to do when somebody points a gun at her and says, "Hit the deck, you son of a bitch!"
We're just deliberately trying to fail this candidate.
Yes, yes. You're putting the candidate to the test. Why?
Fails out there, she gets her ass blown off.
It's my ass.
Except that out there, you're going to have a partner.
And the partner's going to lose his ass too. I'm not a huge fan of women in law enforcement, guys, or firefighting or many other jobs because, let's be honest, we saw a picture that was floating around on X earlier in the week of, I believe it was over in the UK, where they just punched a female cop in the face, broke her nose. Yeah, guys, this movie was from 1976. 1976 that started. So DEI has been around for a while. It was called something else. But guys, we can't just give people jobs because of their gender or their race or anything else. They need to earn it. We need to go back to merit-based hiring, merit-based everything. Guys, you should earn the things you get in life. If you can't, tough tits. So give the job to the youth. The woke brain rot needs to get off their bottom, not illegals. That is in control of jobs. Okay. Yep. True. So this picture that's been up here for a minute now says maybe the moral of the story here is that HR departments are terrible and unnecessary. Yeah, guys, the CEO of this company was apparently having an affair with the head of HR. So good job, ma'am. As head of HR, you were having an affair with the CEO. Ooh. Yep. And that's a good point. The top comment here says, or perhaps don't fold under pressure. If she had turned around and just gave him a kiss, no one would have known and life would go on. I don't condone what they did. I'm glad they got caught. Hopefully they pay the price. And they do because according to Roz Alerts here, the Astronomer CEO and Chief People Officer, which is the name for the head of HR, have been placed on immediate administrative leave. Perfect. Consequences for being trashy. Merit and character only. I agree, Karen. I agree. So here is a future engineer or son of Obama or whatever else you want to call it. But Jamari Adkins committed an armed robbery in Jacksonville, Florida. Police officer responds and chases the armed criminal. And then we're going to see what happens.
Fuck piece shit. Go on the ground.
Okay. So the officer has now tackled the individual with a gun pointed at the individual. And what does he do? shoots the officer in the leg, which then got him removed from planet Earth. So you can see if you keep watching the video later.
Yeah, I shot him in the head.
Well, he shot him in the head, so he ain't coming back. But this officer, this female, is basically just fumbling with her gloves and trying to get a first aid kit, but never actually does anything useful. Meanwhile, the officer is tourniqueted himself, and then this other male officer that shows up actually helps. So good job, female officer, for putting on your gloves. Good job. Good job. Good job. He resigned. Oh, too bad. I'm assuming that you were still talking about the CEO, not this guy, because he definitely resigned from life. She was just demonstrating what not to do in the employee handbook. Yeah, she definitely was. More culture, guys, is that there was a mass shooting outside of an album release party for a rapper in Chicago. There were 4 fatalities and 14 injuries. Why did nobody hear about this? That's a good point. Oh, that's right, because according to the Black Lives Matter folks, it only matters when a white person does it. When black on black crime happens, nobody cares because it's not useful to them. It doesn't fit the narrative that they're trying to push. Because overwhelmingly, people in any racial group kill more of themselves than anyone else, but you especially see this in the black community. It's unfortunate, guys. We shouldn't want this. We shouldn't hope for this. But you see this extreme gun violence in places like Chicago and yet never hear about it. They only wait until there is a white person that shoots somebody, and then they immediately push for gun control. But they don't push for gun control for these. Why not? Why not, guys? Why do you never hear about it? Why is it never in the news? Why do you think? Let me know. Leave a comment about it and then go ahead and post out the live stream so that more people can see it and participate, especially because we're coming up on memes, guys. Coming up on memes. If I don't get your memes, please remind me. There are a bunch of memes that got DM'd. So some of them I was able to pull up because they were actual posts from X. Other ones people are sending me are mostly... Some of them are just images, so I'll have to pull those up one at a time. But you can see here Mamdani is a communist. Let's see why.
The name is Mamdani. M-A-M-D-A-N-I.
But he is a communist. Yep, good job, New York. You sent way too many memes. Maybe, Gardner, maybe. Yay, memes. Yes, we're going to have memes here coming up very shortly as we get through the culture section. Once the culture section is over, we will be into meme territory, guys. So you see here, Filibati Gen Z has every right to be angry because Unusual Whales posts that 58% of recent Gen Z graduates are still looking for full-time work compared to 25% of earlier graduates. Guys, and there are even fewer Gen Z. Gen Alpha is about half the size of Gen Z. But what's happening? We have all these people that are getting degrees that are worthless. And then they're trying to get jobs, but there just aren't that many jobs. There are a lot of openings, but not for people that have these degrees. Maybe people should just not go to college and they should go get an apprenticeship, or they should just start doing stuff. If you ever want to hear about people just doing stuff, why don't you listen to Gardner? Because Questionable Gardner has all kinds of experience doing all kinds of jobs that he was just learning to do as part of journalism. He probably has more experience in most jobs than almost any college graduate out there. College doesn't really prepare you for real life. Unless you're in a hard STEM field where you actually need some of that information, which most of it now you can just get online. Like there are courses and whatnot. Gotta love it when the kids don't listen. A lot of fun. Anyways, yeah, basically this college is like, what is happening, guys? We have all these people graduating with degrees that aren't helpful, trying to get jobs that the degree doesn't help with. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing this because the government has lied to them. Culture has lied to everybody and said everybody should go to college. The only problem is when everybody goes to college is that a bachelor's degree becomes worthless because now everybody has one. So Good job, everybody. You played yourselves, and now you're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt and can't find a full-time job. Or not a job that you think is worth your time. So instead, you sit at home and do nothing. Colbert Report, they announced they're canceling it. They're not, or not Colbert Report, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Sorry, correction, fake news. But CBS has announced they're canceling it. They're not just canceling Colbert, though. They're canceling The Late Show altogether. So, good job. You got to oversee the downfall of The Late Show. And I think we're going to see a lot of traditional TV following suit. Angry Cops here, another fun YouTube channel and follow, is I miss Colbert Report. I miss the tongue-in-cheek Steven. This Steven just feels like he's badgering and talking down to me. I miss the entertainer I grew up watching. Yeah, 100%. Kara says blacks kill more blacks every year than were ever lynched, and they've killed more whites every 5 years than were ever lynched. Lunch? I think you mean lynched. It is funny though, Karen. I agree. The misstatement, not the lynching. We did see this week Tim Pool, who is having some live shows in Washington, D.C. at the Comedy Loft. Apparently, there was a person that basically said, no, we can't have these, so they canceled his show. Well, so Tim posted about it, talked about it on his show, made a bunch of phone calls. People also called and said no. Because basically he said, hey, look, guys, this is not 2019. This is freaking 2025. Everybody call them and let them know, homie, don't play that. Bring the shows back. And they did. And what happened? Well, the live shows are back on. So good job, everyone. We don't play that cancel culture bullshit anymore. We just don't. So they're going to have their live shows again coming up. You can buy your event tickets if you want. Look it up. If you're anywhere near the DC area, do it. Culture, more culture here, guys. As Star Wars Girl points out, how the fuck do you make Jade go from this to that? It's a very good point. I don't know. Because it went from smoking hot, buxom babe to an androgynous guy? I don't even know what that is. But if they do release a movie like this, apparently, according to Grok, so Warner Brothers is releasing Mortal Kombat 2 October 24th, 2025, and Tati Gabrielle as Jade. The redesign appears influenced by modern sensitivities, toning down her classic sexualization for a more grounded look. Yeah, no. Like, I do not support this. This is crazy. Karen points out, yes, The Late Show was losing about $50 million a year. Yep. Forklift operator, according to Groundhog, $25 an hour. Not a bad start, guys. And you could probably move up from there. So just go do that. Makes a lot more sense. Grounded like dirt. Mm-hmm. So, conservative alternative, I put this in culture, even though he is a member of DOGE, because I think it makes more sense here. Said, this world needs men now more than ever. And it starts with a woman saying, we do not need men. Interesting. Let's see what they say.
Do not need men. They are an added bonus and fun in our life.
I'm sorry. We're an added bonus? Okay. Military, 95% male. Firefighters, 97% male. Coal miners, 95% male. Yeah, you don't need men, right? Lumberjacks, 96%. Pilots, 94%. I'm okay with that. Ship captains, 96%. In fact, I'm going to mute that because that music is probably also going to work to get us demonetized. So let's not let that happen. Welders, 94%. Oil rig workers, 96%. Guys, these are all in the mid to high 90s. These are all critical jobs. Fishermen, 97%. Construction, 92%. Surgeons, 81%. Deep sea divers, 97%. Demolition, 94%. Paramedics, 85%. Underwater welders, 98%. Industrial miners, 95%. How many more? How many more we got? Engineers, 89%. Hey, that's a nice picture of Starship. Railroad workers, 94%. Yeah, guys, you don't need men, right? Yeah, we don't need men. They're just extra. I don't think that's right. And the women that think this are kind of crazy. And I don't think the men that actually do the work want them. I think they're extra now. They've basically eliminated what they're valued for. Like women are for, like we need women to have a species, guys. They're the ones that have the children. But when they choose to not have children and just sit there and do this, what for society, what value does she bring to society? Like, I'm not saying she can only bear children for society, but like, what does she do for society? She sits there and says, we don't need men. I don't get it. Shell points out it's delusional, or Karen says delusional thinking. Yes, Shell says we need men. I agree. It just makes sense, guys. We need both men and women. We need men and women to do the things that they're supposed to do so that the species can continue. That would be nice, right? Redheaded Libertarian says, sup, Parents Magazine. Yep, Jennifer Love Hewitt fans are praising her figure and criticizing. Yep, so if you look at her post, Redheaded Libertarian says, women do not look 22 forever. Jennifer Love Hewitt has aged with grace and beauty, has 3 children, and her husband loves her. She has won at life. I agree. Completely agree. That is winning. Guys, that is winning. That's it. This woman decided, you know what? I left the U.S. because I need to get rid of discrimination. Well, she went over to Russia to escape racism and got beat. So, turns out, guys, the United States is actually one of the least racist places on planet Earth. Most other countries are far more racist, and most are actually supremacist. They believe that their own people are far superior to their neighbors. Just go to the Asian countries. Like, you don't leave the United States as a black woman to go anywhere else thinking you're going to get less racism. That's stupid. And she paid the consequences of that. Yeah, it does not look like a good outcome. Karen says, I wonder what percentage of HOA. I wonder the percentage of HOAs. Oof. I love when stupid things happen to dumb people. Yes, Christina, stupid should hurt. A good culture change. OnlyFans has been banned in China. Somebody actually put in the comments, this isn't news, which is crazy. I also like Chris's comment, OnlyFans. But this is a good thing, guys. OnlyFans is terrible. Remember when Ireland tried to return Rosie? Yeah, that was good. Oh, yeah. Here we have Annie. This is a culture change this week, guys. I don't have an iPhone, so I don't have it, and I'm kind of okay with that. But let's see what Annie says. Says, Annie will make your buffer overflow, Grok. Thanks, Elon.
A buffer overflow happens when you write more data to a block of memory than it's allocated for, like stuffing too much into a tiny box. Save.
Excuse me? Phrasing, Annie. Phrasing. I don't know how Elon, who is a natalist and thinks that we need to have more children, thinks that this is a good idea. This seems like an awful idea. But if she's nicer than real women, I have a feeling a lot of guys are going to choose just to talk to her. It's not going to be a good thing, guys, for our culture. It just isn't.
I've got a jar array. Char buffer, meant to hold 10 bytes. If you try to cram in more, like Strix star P buffer, this is too long.
The whispering is crazy.
Those extra bytes spill over and
spilling, cramming. Like, guys, the language is crazy.
Overwrite nearby memory. That can mess up variables, crash the program, or let someone sneaky inject malicious code if they're crafty enough. It's a big deal in security because C doesn't check bounds automatically. Want to hear about ways to stop these overflows, or is this nerdy enough for you?
Guys, these AI companions are going to be the end of humanity. I don't know why Elon, who wants more children, thought this was a good idea unless he only thinks his children are the children that should be there. Guys, if you have an iPhone or an Apple product, you let me know what you think of these new companions. But like, I think this is not a good change. I don't think this will end well. Grok says, buffer overflow imminent, Annie's charm level exceeding capacity. Oh God, it's even making jokes about it. Guys, we are cooked. Like, we are cooked. Kara says they are Christina's, or they're Christians that moved to Russia proved the same. Yeah, that's true. Christians moving to Russia. I mean, there is Russian Orthodox Christians, so like maybe, but yeah, if you're not Christian, it's not going to end well. Dr. Q says, girls, are we oohing this? Karen, tiny box. Titan phrasing. Yeah, guys. Okay, this is kind of borderline meme, but we're going to go to it because it's culture. Many of the TikToks, man, these TikToks are wild. Yeah, let's see what they say. Who drowned the chef? We're going to mute that music. Who has more TDS, Trump derangement? Themselves. Who hates America most? Each other. Who gives better head? Oh, no. Who has a bigger... Wait. What was that last one? Oh, guys. Oh. Christina says, look at my new PFP. Even Annie is over Annie. Yeah, that's true. Linda says, no robot companion. Human interaction is always best. Women need to be women. Men need to be men. Basic skills. Yes. And both are forgetting how to do that, guys. It's not good. The Christina Annie. Karen says, learn so much. Yeah, guys, this is hilarious, though. Like, who thinks this is true? Fire up the AI voice mode and go to conspiracy voice mode on the browser and ask it this question. See what you get. I think that'd be a hilarious result. Oh, and the last, guys, this is unfortunate. Felix Baumgartner passed away this week. He died in a paragliding accident at 56 years old. This is the same guy who, in a Red Bull suit, you can see here, jumped from the edge of the atmosphere as high as he could go in a balloon and skydove. It was crazy to watch. Confirmed by multiple sources. Yeah, dude, like straight up jumped from almost space. It really wasn't almost space, but it was high, guys. High. So unfortunate to see. And last, a good picture of Starlink satellites, guys. This is actually a really neat picture. Seeing the hardware adapter or the payload adapter and the way that they launch it. Like, this is just a beautiful thing. So Christina says, yes, that's the best voice conspiracy. I still want to do Angry Southerner. So he got spin under control. It was amazing. Yeah, Vibe Drummer, the Felix Baumgartner jump was crazy to watch. I need a man too, Linda. Chill. Dr. Q, it's hilarious. I'm like, hi, Annie. It's my daughter, and my name is Professor Utonium from the Powerpuff Girls. Linda says, no more wimps. I need a man. Yeah, guys. Unfortunately, women have trained most men to not be men anymore. They've trained, what do they call them? Sneaky fuckers, I think is actually the technical term for it. Don't judge me. That's actually what they're called. But they're the people who hang around alphas and they try to pick up the scraps. Sneak in there and impregnate women of a species. That's like a term for animals that do it. Yeah, guys, it's not good. But yeah, that's the end of the culture section, guys. We are heading into memes. So let's get these memes going. What do we got? Oh, good start. Poor Annie. Back off, Joe. She's ours. Dr. Q says, Daddy Patriot. Oh. Yep. Karen, I'll bring it back. I'm just showing everyone that Annie is not okay. But we can't let her go to Biden, guys. We can't. Back off, Joe. Not the Bee posted this, guys. Not the Bee. This was literally a thing. But Barack on a podcast said that men need gay friends. This meme is so good, guys. So good. Who do you think he's talking about, by the way? Michael? I don't know. But you got here, Elon Musk, this is the acid test. Yeah, leave Annie alone, Joe. No sniffing. I agree. Yep, socialism is better than capitalism. Oh, yeah? When the Berlin Wall fell, who ran to which side? I think we know. I think we know exactly which side they ran to. And as a follow-up, not to be, I am Frankenstein's monster. You don't seem like a monster. It says, I own land. And the communist says, oh no, he is a monster. Tiffany Fong. Oh, guys, this is the thing. Women, please get your stuff together. You like to say that men will sleep with anything. And then also women. Like, this seems accurate, yeah? Like, I'm not saying men won't, because we will, right? But Yep, seems accurate. And Gunther posted this one. This also pretty hot take. But what do you guys think? Do you think the responsibility should happen, I don't know, maybe make your choice beforehand? I very much support this meme. I think this meme says a lot. I am definitely not pro-choice. I am definitely pro-life because people need to take accountability for their actions. Right? I don't know. There are edge cases, right? We can always make borderline exceptions, but guys, the majority of abortions are not used for those things. It is not incest. It is not rape. It is like high 80s to 90% or higher are just for contraception because you're being irresponsible and making poor choices. And as Christina points out, adoption is also awesome. There are a lot of people that are kids of very bad situations that turn out amazing, that do great things. We don't know if we are just exterminating the next Einstein. We don't. And we see statistics that are crazy, like a third of minority communities that are being killed before they're ever born. Like, absolutely crazy. This meme hits hard. So good job, Gunther. Like it. Oh, J-Roo. Oof. Antifa girls and Antifa guys. Why is it always like that, right? It's this enormous girl with a very skinny white guy who looks like he has a testosterone level of -8. Like, why is it always like this? But it's so true. Sorry, I'm just laughing at that one. This one also true. Guys are way harder on each other. You can see your girls, am I fat? Oh my no, you're beautiful. And then it's, bro, am I fat? It's like, bro, I know fat people and you're 4 of them. This is how guys talk to each other, and it's so hilarious. I fully support this. Linda says adoption is wonderful, just some people should not be the adopter. True. We should definitely heavily screen people. We should not let, this is going to be a hot take. We shouldn't let gay people buy kids. That's my personal opinion. If you don't like it, tough. Go somewhere else, I guess. I love buddy support. Yeah, dude, guys, this is how you do it. This is how, like, this is dumb. This is setting you up for failure. You have a fat girl who her friends are saying, no, you're a beautiful, you're a 10. No, you're not. You're fat. Fat people aren't 10s. Like, that's just how it is. Sorry. I'm not a 10. I'm like a 6, maybe. Probably more like a 5.5. 5. Like, 5's average, guys. That means half the population is uglier. Half of them are better looking. Like, guys are way more realistic when it comes to this shit. And then you see this. Like, this is how it works. So be honest with yourselves. Please don't be deluded. And then this one was just sent right before. And this was actually a post, so I pulled it up. But yeah, apparently Granny Clampett had another son that they never told us about, and she left him behind in Kentucky. I mean, scary accurate, guys. Scary. Just scary. And in the last, what do we got? We got like 10 minutes or so. So let's get some of these other ones pulled up. I am going to have to pull these ones. I'm proud to be mid. Mid is awesome. Make mid great again. Exactly, Christina. What is wrong with being a 5 or a 6? Can one of you guys tell me this? What is wrong with being a 5 or a 6? That means you're better looking than half of the fucking population. Like, congratulations. You're not a 9 or a 10. You're just not. Unless you're like a supermodel, like Adriana Lima in her prime. 10 literally means there is zero room for improvement. I would put Adriana Lima in her prime at like 9. Maybe 9.5. But there's really no 10s, guys. There just isn't. Like, if you try to tell everybody you're a 10, you're just lying to yourself and you're lying to everybody else. We got a bunch from Karen, guys. This one is so good. So good. Let's check this one out, guys. Look, 100% of students at Martin Luther King Jr. High School had a lower standardized test score than an all special needs school. Like, bro, can't even call them retarded. Like, yeah, that's unfortunate. Gardy says, I'm happy to be being a 4.20. I see what you did there. Got another one from Karen. Refugees don't wave their nation's flag while marching towards another country. Invaders do. Fair point. Very good point. Oh, I've seen this one before. This one's good. Back in my day, blowing a tranny meant car trouble. Still does. If you're blowing another kind of tranny, guys, you're doing it wrong. Say, elect Somalia, become Somalia. Yeah, that's basically what's happening. Good job. Minnesota and Michigan is just making really bad decisions. And apparently now, water parks are fat phobic. I don't know what that means. Let's see what it says.
Somehow we've reached the point in time to where if a water park has a weight limit, it's now considered fat phobic.
So we're doing weight limit.
No, I think you should probably put a weight limit on a slide so you don't buckle the thing when you're going down it and you don't die. Like, maybe that's a good thing, right? Oh, geez, Carter, you ain't joking. Is this... Okay, yep, this is the beginning of yours. Okay.
Now, per rider, 2 scales. This is what we're doing now?
Holy shit, man. This girl is upset that there is a 300-pound weight limit. You probably shouldn't be wearing a bathing suit out in public, and you should probably go fix it before you complain that there's a 300-pound weight limit. Like, good God. I simply made a meme. Yeah, okay, I see what you did here, Garter. Head of HR? No. Head from HR. What else do we got? Most accurate, bro, how do I know I'm Somali, bro? This is like the I'm the captain now guy say that he's gonna run for office. Like, that's just wild. Oh, Gardner. So, but let's see. Back in my day, Somalia used to owe me Dr. Q. Shell says both of you guys are 6.9, Gardy. Oh my God. How do you get to 300 pounds anyway? I don't know. I topped out at my heaviest at like 235. And when I started to feel like back fat, I was like, nah, dog, we got to stop this shit. And I turned that around. Like hitting 300 plus, like, or 600, like my 600-pound life, like, I don't know, man. If you need a forklift to get somewhere, like, you done fucked up. Says, yeah, smallest screaming for food you ate in this. Christina. So let's get this one pulled up, guys. Gardner is wild. When your Latina side chick gets pregnant, so you call ICE on her. Gardner. Whoo, damn. All right. Let's get this. How do I open this one? Nope, not doing the music. Let's not. Here we go. Perfect girlfriend workout. Washing plates. Hugging your boyfriend. I don't need your money. Ooh, okay. Carrying groceries. Okay. Giving birth. Yeah, those all look like very useful exercises. So I can see that. Oh no, what do we got? And you get in the rocket, man. We are taking consciousness to Mars. Guys, if this is the AI they send to Mars, we might be in trouble. Like, those robots may not be very productive. Oh no, Pam Bondi and Epstein. Oh no. Where's laundry? That's a good question, Christina. I don't know. Maybe you should redo that video and we can add it. Oh no. Stop arson. Ban semi-automatic matches. Gardner, how many of these did you send, my dude? Nope, I already got that one. Let's see this one. Okay, now we got another post. Boop. Okay, last one from Gardner. I weaponized the IRS, CIA, FBI, DOJ, and ISIS. It says, I weaponized the American people. Okay. I'm here for it. Let's see. Do we have anybody else? Rebel Alliance knows Q. Nope. Do we have any individuals sending memes? Any more memes? I got Karen's. Do I got JB? Did JP send any good ones? Nope, nothing from JP. I feel like I had another couple, but I don't see them. That was from the 12th, so that was last week from Kat. Does anybody else have any more memes? Any more memes, folks? You just let me know. We can go over them in the last few minutes. We have about 4 or 5 minutes, but we're going to advertise for ourselves here for a second, guys. The weekly update is live every Saturday. I'm losing track of what day it is. Every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Also with Questionable Gardner Space, we have the topic exchange on Tuesdays at 9. I believe it will be transitioning to 8:30 at some point, but let him confirm in the chat there. Are we moving to 8:30, Gardner, for topic exchange? You let us know. And then Shell and Christina have their Bible space. I believe it's 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. So tomorrow from 4 to 5, you can catch a really good Bible space. I've only been able to catch the replay of a couple of them because I'm usually busy, but check those out as well. And following this show, immediately after at 9 p.m. Eastern is the conversation with Adrian Dittman. So make sure to check that out. Also, you can check out my YouTube channel where I post reactions and other content. I also have some more male-focused content. I have my company that I started up, the Men's Empowerment Network, where I'm providing consultation and advice to men going through divorce and custody fights. So check that out as well. But yeah, in general, guys, what else? Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Let's see. Add advanced clothes folding. Christina. Dr. Q, make sure you bring Annie to the laundromat. Oh, if they can find a way to add a skin to an Optimus robot and give it Annie's programming, our society is cooked. Like, women are going to lose all access to men. Is what it is. Karen says, Gardner, I didn't know you had that in you. Oh, Karen, never underestimate Gardner and his unhingedness. Never. Do so at your own peril. Linda says, thank you, Patriot. Wonderful show. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for showing up. And thank everybody that showed up and stuck around for the entire show. Guys, I appreciate you. But we're going to go ahead and wrap there, I think. 9 this week, and then 8:30. Okay, so 9 o'clock this week for topic exchange on Tuesday, and then following, it will be down to 8:30. That will actually be more convenient for me and help me get to bed a little bit early, hopefully. Just never say it's going to be a short show, please. So thank you, everybody who showed up. I appreciate you all. God bless, and have a great week. We will see you over at The Conversation. Bye for now.